Hi all. Uh, Unboxing time. I only have one more box of comics coming in the mail. Still got some stuff I ordered from Temu. And I got some more R2-D2s and stuff. Last night, I got from the last video, I ended up getting the right stickers. And people who have on my Facebook saw the job, but I managed to finish off quite a few of the droids to change the colors. So I got red and yellow sensor scope R2-D2. A battle damaged original R2-D2. A sand worn. So if ever they like to get the Jawa Sandcrawler down in the future, I can put him with that as a display. I still have one more sensor R2-D2 to mess with. And this one I was going to paint orange. But I did manage to do a lot of R5-D4s. I got a light blue. An R2-D2 bluish one. Gray. And pink. There should be one more. Oh, here it is. Sand worn, so I can actually recreate pretty much the Sandcrawler scene if I ever manage to find a Sandcrawler which is affordable for me. I do have, well, I think that's it. I only have these two, but I also have three more R2-D2s coming in the mail. So I wanted to show them off real quick. Then I'll go right here into the comic books I ordered from Eric, which told me I filled the box, and this box really ain't full, so I'm pretty much gonna cut down who I buy from. I'm only gonna buy from one guy on Facebook for the next, probably till the new year. Cut my spending down. But I got, let's see, he put a lot of them in. I'm going to have to be pulling these out. Jon Sable Freelance #1. Superman Man of Steel 1,000,000. Star Trek Next Generation 38. Make sure there's only one book in these. Masquerade #1. Sisters of Mercy #2. E-Man #1. Detective Comics 983. Star Trek 41. Star Trek Next Generation 37. Green Arrow and Black Canary #17. Star Trek #18. For volume 1 of the DC run, I think I need like 2 or 3 books now. Green Arrow number 74. Sad thing is I had the whole series at one point. I get disgusted when I think of all the books that disappeared. Catwoman 21, because I still haven't replaced all the Wolverines, all the X-Men, Green Arrow 72, and all the Swamp Things. And I still need the Long Shot miniseries that vanished. Aquaman 40 variant cover. Green Arrow 64. Earth 1 trade. Sports Legends number 9, Joe Louis. Superman Action Comics 1 million. Enigma number 3. Hawkworld number 29. Mr. Miracle Volume 1 number 22. Earth 1 Batman trade. I think this is trade number 1. Okay, what do we have here? Batman Shadow of the Bat 1 million. Deathstroke the Terminator number 13. Brave and the Bold number 22. Venus Wars 2 number 1. Another Sports Legends number, let me get that corner. That corner's like sort of rabbit-eared. Sports Legends number 2, Gordie Howe. And then we got, what do we got here? Okay. Lone Wolf and Cub number 1 and number 2. And this is sealed from the company. Death Watch, Prelude to Death Watch, Megalith number 0, and the hybrids. So that's what I got from Eric. I actually got to get my button gear and get out to the garage and clean the garage. Find my double Smurfs. I got all kinds of stuff I got to do around this house. It's just like, it's hard to constantly do everything I got to do because, as I said, I only get help. My dad hasn't been down in at least a month. Got to bug bomb the house because I got a flea problem. It's like it just never ends here. It's like crazy. Called up the SPCA, ARC, and a couple of the other places. I have too many cats roaming outside, and I've been trying to get somewhere to take, to get somebody to come and take them. Can't afford getting them all fixed. In fact, the one cat that we found last year that had the 4 kittens. Now, 2 of them had one, their whole litter, they died. The other one had a litter of 4 or 5, and they're still floating. In fact, no, let's see. Midnight, Hocus Pocus, Tilly, and Lexi took, what did she call the orange one? Whatever. Yeah, he had a 5. My daughter took one of those 2 cats, and she took her orange cat, Callie. So, boom. So we were stuck with 4 cats. Well, Booger ended up having another litter. I don't know how many cats she's got. She's hidden in the blue room somewhere where we can't really get to her. I threw Onyx out because Onyx had another litter. She had a litter of 8, which 7 of them are still alive, and they're in my breeds, and they're cute as hell. But they're all going to be outside cats, and I feel bad because 2 of them are very, very friendly and very loving little guys. It's just that we already are buying pretty much a bag of cat food a week with all the cats. I'm like, hun, we can't keep all these animals. Uh, they always say happy wife, happy life. I keep trying to make my wife and happy, but it's like I'm miserable. It's the best way. I mean, it's just one of those things where I don't want to kill another living thing, but I can't get rid of them. Like I said, I called the SPCA, trying to find no kill shelters, and they're all filled up. So, but the comic books are coming along. I'm gonna have to, when I get done this, I'll have to put these in. I'm already a quarter away for 41,000 because I got like in the last beginning of this since middle of September to now. I got over 250 books. Probably this will probably bring it to 300. So, and then I have another box coming from Dan. Everything's all geared up for Halloween. Keegan's got his costume, got all the parts, picked them up. 2 web shooters. He's got the Spider-Man mask where if he opens his mouth, the eyes blink. He's got the ultimate Spider-Man costume. So he's set. I got Gigi a red robe. She's got the Shy Guy mask. She's got black gloves. She's got black shoes. She's gonna wear a belt, a black belt around the middle. So she's Shy Guy, and I'm ready to go with them in case I have to walk with them in the parade, which is gonna be. Thank God I have a big scythe, so I can use that as a crutch eventually when my back starts bothering me. I can actually take weight off me and use that. And that's huge. I'm going as the Grim Reaper. I got a black mask to cover my whole entire face, and then I have a big skull mask that when I can go, and they won't see anything when I open the mouth open. So it'll just be like, I'm in there. Got bone, gloves that can show the bones on my hand. They come up to about here. So even if the sleeves are right up, they'll still see skeleton parts. So I'm like, yeah. I got black sneakers, so that's what I'm going to wear. Other than that, that's it. Daughter's doing good, and she's doing really good at Votech, going for automotive. In fact, I ordered a part from Napa. When that comes in, she's going to fix my sensor on my tire. Instead of costing me anywhere from $80 to $200, it's only going to cost me $40 for the part of the price of the part. I went to the doctor Thursday. My blood pressure is still high after taking 3 blood pressure meds. She upped to 1, so we'll see. It's been always high. You're in pain 24/7. I go to the thing. My pressure was 180 something over 130 something, and then after a while, it ended up going down to 140, between 140 and 150, but it was still over between 90 and 100, the lower number. So she upped and she says, you're always. I'm like, well, doc, I go, when you're in pain every day, like constantly, like right here in the back, it's like I got something like sticking its thumb in there. So, and then you have all the stress of the house and the kids, they're constantly fighting. So it's one of those things. It's just like I always say, you can only control what you do. You can't control what others do. You can't control what others say. It's rough. I mean, even the doctor said, lot of things. And then I saw a thing with Joe Rogan, my buddy Lou posted about chemicals in our food, and I'm thinking to myself, I always said for like ever since I was in my mid 30s, 20 years, I always said that, what are the long-term effects of what they put in the food? Found out that here in the United States, they're putting all kinds of chemicals that other countries don't let you put in food. They're actually poisonous and harmful to humans. But you never heard none of that stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. Wondering why me and my brother both have degenerating disc disease and nobody else in my family's got it. And I always wondered about, there's more and more people with ADHD, ODD. Is this stuff actually affecting your genetic makeup over long term? Like, breaking down something at the cellular level, which doctors can't really check the cellular level. You have to go to a microbiologist or something like that. How's it affecting human DNA? I just look at everything. I look at how, what are, and even too, my buddy Lou says, you can't really trust statistics because statistics could be manipulated. And I'm like, that's the first thing I took. They told me when I took statistics class in college, you can actually, turn statistics, depend. It's like the force based on a point of view. I just puzzled at everything that goes on in the world anymore. I saw a guy who wants to be classified as an alien. He actually had genetic modified surgery to get two of his fingers chopped off so his hand resembles a claw. His whole face was gray. I was like, whoa, oh God. But I'm like, crazy. And then I saw a guy post down, if women are from Venus and men are from Mars, what are everybody else from? And he goes, Uranus. Okay. That was the joke thing he did. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was, sort of appropriate sometimes. It's just one of these things that, and then I saw the thing about Caitlin Clark. They did a sports thing, and the one commentator said that he was talking to some older people, and they said that actually, believe it or not, goes, things were better in the 60s than they are now. And I'm like, well, in a lot of points they are. Everything's divisionism. Crazy divisionism. People hate, like I always said, hate's inherent, but people hate people for the wrong reasons. They hate you based on what football team you root for, what baseball, what teams you root for, what kind of music you listen to, basically what you own. People think I'm rich. I'm not rich. I've never been rich. I'm the type of person that if I have money, I give it back to the economy. I buy a lot of stuff. And over the years, I bought a lot of stuff on clearance because I'm very frugal with my money. Like I made the comment about the Brother cartridges, in previous videos. Same thing with like buying these guys. It's ridiculous what they want for a used beat up R5, R2 unit. Now, when these came out, they were $1.99, and I think when they quit making the Star Wars run, they were $2.99 or $3.99, so they were less than $5 a figure. Now, like I keep saying, any Star Wars figure like these, they were mass produced. Okay, anything that came out with the first movie, Waves, they made for Star Wars, Empire, and Return. So they were constantly produced. Now, on the R2-D2s, though, plain ordinary R2-D2 with just the normal top, he's the most produced one. Sensor Scope that came out with Empire Strikes Back is the second most. Now, the hardest ones to get for R2-D2 are probably from the Droids line and the pop-up lightsaber. That's it. Just like when it comes down to C-3PO, original C-3PO, mass produced. Produced for all three movies. ones that are next one is the Break Apart, with the pack that sat on Chewbacca. He was from the Empire, and they redid him for Return of the Jedi. Then there was a droids version, so that's actually the hardest. They did the same thing with Stormtroopers, Death Squad. I used to call it Death Star Commander, but now it's called Death Squad Commander. I mean, Tusken Raiders, original Luke Skywalker, Desert, Princess Leia, white outfit, Han Solo, Chewbacca, the Power Droid, all Death Star Droid. All those original Star Wars figures were produced for the Empire line. Of course, not in as many quantities, but still produced on card. Instead of saying Star Wars, they had Empire Strikes Back on the card. So they are plentiful. It just makes me crazy when I go on eBay and you have the guys selling. They start their thing off and they want $25 for an original R2. Now, most of the ones I bought that you saw there, I paid $15 or less. I think after shipping, some of them came out to $18, $19. But still, $20. There was originally a $2 to $3 figure. I was getting them because I was making them into other versions of the droids. So to increase my Star Wars collection that way, I made ever since I saw, the Phantom Menace, where there was like a bunch of different R2 and R, that were out there trying to, fix and they do sell for these figures a third leg you can buy and put in here, so I can actually get them. But I'm even thinking to the point where I might save up and get a 3D printer, and you can actually 3D print these guys. So this way, like if I have I have a full blue sticker with like R2's blue on top of it, so I can actually make a blue R2 unit. If I ever get a 3D printer, I can use the 3D blue spool, whatever, and actually make full color droids. So in the long run, I might do that, and that'd be a good way for me to make somewhat of a business started. And I can actually start doing, like, I know how to restore some of the stuff. Like I said, I restored so far 2 X-Wing fighters. I've restored a couple of the droids and redone them. I'm thinking about long run, maybe for my home, doing that. There's got to be something that I can do on my own time, which won't hurt or aggravate my back more. Like I can sit here. Well, with these guys, it's simple. To make them white, I just stick them in a thing of hydrogen peroxide. I have UV lights. Lighten them all up. I scrape the thing off. I can scrape the thing laying on my back. It's no big deal. It's like, so I can actually get away with doing some kind of work like that here. Because what bothers me is I wish I could have went back to work. I wish I can sit for 4 to 8 hours or stand 4 to 8 hours. I mean, I proved it when I went to the freaking Steeler game. I did not enjoy myself, did not have a good time. In fact, I haven't been to anything since. Usually when I go shopping, I'm in and out within an hour. Pretty much an hour or two is the max I can go shopping for it, and I have to come home. It sucks when your quality of life ain't the best. Haven't been to, like I said, a convention. First off, back and cost are what stops me from going to those anymore. Even though Lou wanted me to go to a movie. There was a movie thing coming, and I was like, maybe next year, me and him will find out what's going on. I might go to a movie marathon. They actually have it where you can, I guess the seats recline back. So maybe I can do that, because he'll drive. I won't have to drive. Like when I went to the Pittsburgh game, I had to drive, and that was one of the biggest things that was a factor to me being in such a bad shape. I could not keep moving in my seat, moving my seat back where I can recline, because there's no way I can recline like this and be looking driving. No way in hell. And Al didn't drive. I wish he had a license and he was able to at least drive half the leg. I think I might have been able to handle the game a lot better and handle it afterwards a lot better. But no, Uh, we haven't played D&D in a while. I keep calling up Anthony. He's like, "Oh, it's starting to become wintertime. We'll get back into it." I'm like, "I hope so." I've been getting all this stuff geared up for us to play. The last time that Hayden and Anthony were here, we had a nice run. We almost lost our whole party. The guy happened to get a critical on me and knocked me down. We ended up fighting 3 Ents, and Anthony's character was down to like below 10 hit points. My and his two I have a follower. Uh, he was down to like below 5, and Anthony's follower was below 5 hit points. And the sad thing is, my guy's pretty much a tank. Basically, in order to hit my guy, my fighter, uh, I have a special shield that I have to tell you about. But yeah, I basically have to roll a 20 in order to hit my guy. So yeah, the ends up rolling to thing and it's a massive damage to me. But at the end, I ended up sticking it out. I'm like, listen, how many? In order for me to get probably killed, that guy has to roll 4 20s. So I'm like, I just decided to stick it out, and I ended up winning. I was like, if my guy dies, my guy dies. It's like, like I said, you can't control what happens, but I'm like, since my guy has a high rate of not to survive, I'm like, why not? Because my guy's like level 5 or level 6 now. So, and like I said, I got a special shield that they gave me that they actually looked up, and I'm like, okay. But I've been buying stuff for these so we can have. And believe it or not, Temu was the cheapest on some of them, So I'm like, okay, good. In fact, I got this shirt on Temu, $15. So I'm like, hey, it's hard to get T-shirts, unless you go to Walmart and get a T-shirt for $7. But try to find a band you like. Like I like my favorite bands are ELO. Well, Rush is number one. Rush is like, and I'm glad I got a ton of Rush shirts I ordered from it. There's a bunch of them I have on my list yet to get. Uh, Even though I don't like Rush's like, I wasn't happy with Vapor Trails. I did not get. In fact, there's like 3 albums after I never got, uh, which I have to get. But I listen. I actually have copies of the stuff anyway, and I listen to it. And I'm like, there's like 1 or 2 songs. It's not like I used to like the whole album. Like I love the whole album. Hemispheres, Permanent Waves, Signals. There's only one. I'm not a fan of Countdown on Signals. That was the only song I listened to it, but it's not my. It's not like up there on my list of favorite. In fact, my favorite song off of Signals, Subdivisions is number 2. Number 1, I love the song "Losing It." There's something about that song that resonates, and I love it. Uh, the Moving Pictures, I love everything. I'm not a fan of Witch Hunt, uh, because that when I start thinking about it, I get like it's very very dark song. Uh, yeah, so see that because Neil did a song, I think a 3 to 5 part thing on fear. Like that was fear of man. There was fear of objects and stuff like that. He did, and one of them each came out with the albums. Uh, so he did. They did stuff like that over the years. Like I love uh, Cygnus X1, and then the continuation was the whole side of Hemispheres about how going through the black hole, popping up, becoming a god. You know, uh, and to me, that's great driving music. I love putting that Hemisphere side one on and boom, driving. It's like doom, and same thing with Xanadu, uh, side A at 2112. Uh, Parts of I like the album Crest of Steel too, which not many people do, but I do. Uh, I actually like the one part of the thing is called Bacchus Plateau. I like that section of that. I used to actually have that flipped on a cassette tape. I recorded it over and over and over and over and over and over just played the whole thing over and over again. Uh, Back in the day. Um, But you know, I'm happy now. I got, but see, I still have to get myself a Queen shirt, and this is what I see now with Iron Maiden. It's like it's pretty much all newer stuff. And I used to have a Killer shirt. I think I gave it to Al. Uh, I would like to get a Peace of Mind shirt, Power Slave, Number of the Beast. Because actually, after Paul left and then Bruce came in, so when I became more, I like more of that era, Bruce Dickinson era. Then when Bruce left, I was like, Afraid of the Dark, nah. To Wicker Man, because I even like a song that Adrian Smith sings called "Reach Out," and everybody keeps telling me, hey, "Oh, that's the one." I'm like, I like the song. You know, it was off of the Somewhere in Time album. It was a B-side to Wasted Years off of a picture disc, and I think it's a really good song. But see, this is where people's taste, goes. What I like, somebody else might not like, and this is the thing that people gotta understand. Not everybody's gonna like the same thing. Like I eat tripe. Most people don't like tripe. My wife and them eat souse. I don't like souse. Do I, give them grief about it? No. It's just I don't eat Halushki and cabbage. I don't eat ham and bean soup. I don't like any of those things. But that's just my preference and my tastes. People gotta learn, that that's what makes this world great, is the diversity. The thing that makes the world not so great is the divisionism. Make mine Marvel. Right there, people fight over, whose comics are better. To me, most comics now suck anyway. Basically, the storylines are just like rehash over and over and over again. Take a character and make them every color of the rainbow, like I'm doing now with the droids, just slapping different colors on them. Do it that way. Just constantly, push out stuff just for the sake of pushing out, and who cares about really what's in it? And now with this LGBT everything, it's like to the point where it's ridiculous. It used to be where you had a gay character or a heterosexual character. Stuff was left to your imagination. What they do now, everything's got to be, hey, I'm going to spoon feed you. I'm going to ram it down your throat. Cavern Collectibles made the point about the Iceman, the last Iceman series, how he was mentioning he was gay every panel. And I'm like, when North Star came out, that was a major pivotal point in comic books for the LGBTQ. He proved that, he was gay. And fine. But this whole thing of race appropriation of characters like poor Jimmy Olsen now, and a lot of the redheaded characters are gone. It's like, what do they have a problem with red hair? In fact, you're making a white redheaded person obsolete in comic books by turning them black. It's like, come on, create other black characters. You did a black Superman in an alternate uniform. Why couldn't you do that with all these other characters? Make like different races and then alternate universes. Keep the original universe the same. And also create other black characters like they did with Hardware, Static, Icon. Somebody made the comment about when they did Black Panther, Black Goliath, they were black. They had to put black in the thing. Well, that was the mindset back in the 60s and 70s. Okay, I'm sure now if they did a character like they did with Icon, Hardware, Mr. Terrific, and all that, even though they took Mr. Terrific and turned him in, that's fine, because he was a whole different Mr. Terrific. And like I preach about my favorite character, Green Lantern, about how they give them mental issues, and I'm like, they would not. If you can't be a cop here in real life and have like schizophrenia or whatever they had, you shouldn't be a Green Lantern if you got that. Make it plausible. Just to fill, the quota, make a certain percentage of the population happy. Do it the right way, not by appropriating what was out there and turning it into something else. because the people who really loved it, I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of redoing a character like they did with Miles Morales Spider-Man, making him a whole different Spider-Man in a different Earth. That's fine. That's beautiful. I mean, that's what they should have done with almost like with the Alan Scott Green Lantern. They should have done a Green Lantern in a different universe and had a different storyline for him. Because the LGBTQ make up less than 10% of the population. And when I watch TV and all this stuff, their percentages are like, I swear to God, there's like 40% of them on TV. And it's like, to me, that's not a great, ratio. I do wish that they would actually do a hodgepodge cast where, like sort of like in Lost, when they had like, there was Asian, there was an Australian person, there was a black person, there was a Mexican, there was an Indian person. It was a good collection of people that crashed on the island. But it's hard because being diverse and with all this divisionism stuff. I mean, you took honor rolls from schools, and you wasn't happy just being, there was honor roll people who made the honor roll and people who didn't. No, you have to devise the honor roll into distinguished honor roll and honor roll. Really? Really? I mean, are we going to have super MVP and MVP now? Right? Or, hey, how about this one? We'll do Super Rookie of the Year and Rookie of the Year. No, just the Rookie of the Year and that's it, and boom, boom. I got into watching the stuff with Caitlin Clark because the one guy I buy from, daughter and him, they constantly, they call Caitlin Clark. I don't keep up with basketball anymore. I don't keep up with any sports anymore. A couple of years ago, after all that kneeling stuff, I washed my hands with all of them. I'm like, you guys, people come from, other countries, like for baseball, Dominican, Venezuela, South America. They come to the country and they play. They make millions. They make a good life. But then they're gonna disrespect, and especially the NFL. I mean, they're all nonprofit organizations, so they're all making buku money, billions, and you're gonna disrespect the country that's giving you the right. They want to say freedom. I'm like, well, okay, freedom of speech then, but where's this on your off seasons? Speaking up. It's not. It's only when you're getting paid is when you're doing it. And that's wrong. To me, that's hypocritical. I wash my hands with all the sports because I'm like, they're making millions of dollars and they're showing very little respect to the country that now this whole Caitlin Clark thing, I didn't know who she was. I just was watching the videos and I'm like, okay, she's a white female basketball player. She's really damn good. And I'm like, saw this whole thing about Angel Reese and her, and how all these former Hall of Fame female are giving her, and pretty much, as some of these sportscasters said, basically it's reverse racism towards her because she's white. They didn't want to, they were like, oh, Angel Reese is posting doubles. And I'm like, I started watching Angel Reese play, and I'm like, well, if she misses a shot 2 to 3 feet from the basket and gets her own rebound, I don't think that should be counted as a rebound for her as a count, because I figure if she misses 25% of the shots, 2.5 of those rebounds, or say she just shoots 20, 5 of those rebounds a game are from her own missed shots. I mean, her shooting percentage isn't really that great for the thing how she is close to the basket. In fact, the one highlight clip they showed her, which I thought was freaking amazing, funny as hell, amazingly, she missed 3 times. And she was basically under the rim. I'm like, I was hypercritical of Shaquille O'Neal about his free throw shooting. And the man, I mean, he was a dominant, massive player in the paint. But I always said, basketball is about shooting the ball. I always said if they raised it to 12 feet, the game of basketball will change. You'll see who the good shooters are, who the good players are. When you're 7 foot tall and you have like a 2.5 thing, you don't have to jump that far to dunk the ball. And most of the NBA players are able to dunk because they're tall, they're huge. So, it's the guy who shoots a 3-pointer or person that has an above 50%, 50% shooting, above 500% made. That to me is a basketball player. When you're able to take the ball and shoot and have a high shot percentage, boom. Like I saw Jordan play once in live. I saw him play the Sixers, and he missed 2 dunks, and I was like, wow. What impressed me is he had a good surrounding team. I doubt that he would have won all his titles if it was just him. I mean, Scottie Pippen that day was awesome. Horace Grant was awesome. Cartwright. I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, yes, Jordan did score. I think it was like 18 to 20 points that game I saw. But the other guys, they beat the Sixers, and it was a good game. And I was just amazed. But back to the Caitlin Clark. Here's the perfect example. I mean, the attendance went up for the ball games. Instead of them like giving her, saying, "Listen, they were persecuting her." I mean, some of the stuff I saw, how they were following her. I'm like, "Where's the call? Where's the call? Where's the call?" And I'm like, I never watched a WNBA game, and I don't plan to. I don't plan to watch any sports anymore. But from my clips and from being I used to be a very big sports fanatic. I was appalled. I was appalled by the play. I was appalled by what people were saying. And she never said one derogatory thing bad about anything from what I saw. And it bothered me, especially, for being on that level. In fact, I actually thought how good she was. I thought she could actually play in the NBA. Believe it or not, that's my own opinion from what I saw of the highlights in her play of what I saw how her play, because she reminded me of Larry Bird. I mean, she was tenacious. She had great passing, 3-point shooter. Of course, Larry Bird. Larry Bird used to. The stories of Bird. I'm going to do this, and this to you, and boom, and he would. I mean, I saw interviews with John Sally and all these other NBA stars, and it was like Bird trash talked to death, and he backed it up. And that's just, I don't see Caitlin Clark trash talking, but I'd say if she did, she probably could back it up like Bird did. But I don't, like I said, I don't follow. I just, as a what used to be a sports fan, that girl deserved the MVP. In fact, not the MVP, the Rookie of the Year. She should have at least have a good reputation for the MVP, even though I don't think, she's, the caliber of thing. But she should be in contention for that, for just what she's done on a rookie season. But to sit there and be how these sportscasts, actually a lot of them are female, they're like belittling her, and I'm like, really? Thoughts? Video went over what I wanted to do, but it's like I said, the division isn't crazy anymore. I don't ever want to be clept into one single thing. I don't think anybody else should be. That's just food for thought there, because growing up, the stupid division, oh, you're a nerd, you're a jock. We're never going to get rid of that stuff. To me, hate, like I said, hate's inherent. And most people agree with me, of every color and every race and minority. It's just, the thing is to overlook these things. And remember, we all bleed red, unless we have something wrong with our hemoglobin. we all face pretty much the same struggles in life. So I'll leave you with that. And as always, I thank you all for viewing and subscribing.